Hi, I'm Stalnaker with Hub Culture, and I'm with Bridgett Luther, who's working in some really exciting areas in the Cradle to Cradle movement.
Right. So I'm the new president of the Cradle Products Innovation Institute, and what we've decided to do is try to change the world one product at a time. How does that happen? Well, if you look at Cradle to Cradle, there's so many things that happen. First, you have to take your ingredients, take a look at them, and what is in the stuff that we're making that's killing the earth or the people, and let's get rid of it, or let's find new solutions. So the Institute wants to be the place for people, first of all, find out what's in their products, and secondly, find the solutions for the stuff that's bad.
So the whole idea of what's in a product is so vast, right? And half of it you can't pronounce anyway, for especially manufactured products. What are you guys doing? Are you using technology to kind of map the graph of ingredients for products, or what's the process for doing this?
So that's what we're trying to figure out, because Bill has been doing this. Bill McDonough and his partner Michael Brengard have been doing this for 15 years, and they've certified 300 products.
And green icons.
Again, green icons, and they've been doing it. So we're trying to take that and put it out to the world so that people can do it.
So
and
is it like doing yourself certifications?
Yeah, well, it's not exactly like that, because eventually you're going to have somebody verify that you've done it right. But it'll be getting started on that path, because what they've done is so incredible and important that we need to get it to scale, and that's what we're talking about. How do we get this to scale?
So this is about standards?
Standards, and not really, because this is a quality management program, so we're a little different. We're different from a green seal, because a green seal is just a point in time. This is we're figuring out what our products are made out of and how do we get the bad stuff out and get the more good stuff in. So there are lots of really great, wonderful things that you can make red out of. You don't have to make red out of cadmium. But you haven't told your designer, I would like to have red that's non-killing, non-cancer forming. Could I have the non-cancer forming red? So it's just sort of, you know how Bill always talks about the intention? The intention is that we will now make a product that's not cancer causing.
So you have over here kind of the leading kind of tip of the spear in terms of green and green technology and thought leadership coming really from the Valley and from California in general. And then you have a lot of other places where everything gets made. So are you trying to extend this into a global platform so that everything, say, that gets made in China is somehow linking into the process for this?
Yes.
Or does it start with where these things are designed?
Both. So first of all, you've got to look at your current product line and say what's in it that's not good for the environment or for people. And then you have to start figuring out how to change that, and that's where we're going to need all the green chemists in the world to kind of come together. And what we want to do is just like send out worldwide alerts. Here's what we need, here's the material we need, here's the performance standards it has to have, and we need it to not be bad for people or the environment. So that's the first assignment.
And this is a big undertaking, so you're not going to be able to do it just alone. It's going to take everybody participating, right? So what are you doing to try and get other people involved? How can other people get involved? And then where do you see this in, say, 5 years?
So the standard is going to be a public standard. It's right now we're in the process of developing. It was sort of an in-house award for people that were working with Bill and Michael, and they said, oh, you're doing it right, here's a gold star, here's a silver star. So we're in the process of doing that. So we're asking people to kind of give us that feedback. And then the standard will go live sometime late February, and then we'll start training people. And the training, you can come and do the training, you can be a certification consultant, and then you can start going out and certifying products. And then we want to try to build the brand. Like you would go in and say, you know, I got to have a Cradle to Cradle certified shirt, or I need a Cradle to Cradle certified toy for my kid. That's what we need. That's the second part of it, sort of building awareness around Cradle to Cradle certification being the gold standard.
And for people who don't know what Cradle to Cradle is, this institute came out of Bill's ideas and his partner's ideas around a Cradle to Cradle economy, a Cradle to Cradle civilization, ideally, someday, right?
Right?
So can you explain in a nutshell, what does Cradle to Cradle mean?
Everything just stays in the cycle, that's all. It never, if you think about it, we live in a very cradle to grave society. At the end of life, things are going to landfill. In the Cradle to Cradle world, that never happens, because everything either feeds, becomes a biological nutrient, or gets used again, a technical nutrient. And that's the way the world can grow.
So one is circular versus the other is linear.
They're both circular, because we might take the Herman Miller chair and take it apart, but the aluminum from that chair wouldn't necessarily go back to another chair. It could go to make a computer. So the aluminum goes into a materials pool. In the case of clothing or those kinds of things, that clothing would be compost. You know, that clothing is compost. It's made out of dye that's safe, and then it would also, so it could feed the earth. So anything that would go in a landfill could be a big, huge compost pile. which actually you grow food on instead of methane gas.
Right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, I'm Hub Culture. This is Hub Culture. I'm Stan, and thanks for tuning in.